Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Christine with Patter Crafts, and today we are going to work with collection number 1 from the Scrapping for Less card kit. The flavor of the month, the theme for May is in the countryside. So I started this video and then realized that it wasn't actually recording. So we are going to just sort of start from the beginning and yes, pick up where I left off. So the collection 1 are the items seen here. This is the stamp set, and I did just use it, so it's in drawing because I washed the stamps. But this is the stamp set that was in this collection that we will be using. It is from Brutus Monroe. We also have some letters. We'll see if we use those. We have our sequin mix. This is just some scrap paper I was using. We have our pattern paper and our ephemera. So if you would like to see what I received in this kit, I'll leave a link to that video below. But so far, I decided, based on the stamp set, we were going to use card number 1 using sketch number 3. And because the way the stamps, you see how they're kind of square, I just thought it would be great to kind of stamp one to put in each one of the areas here, and then we'll use a piece of ephemera where the heart is. Okay, so first I decided I was going to use this pattern paper for the background, and when I compared it to all the card bases I wanted to use, the red just seemed to be the most appropriate fit based on the colors that I received in this kit. So I went ahead and I cut out 4 little squares. I did have to get my MISTI out for this because, let me just see if I can lift this up gently. They're a pretty solid stamp, so let me just move this out of my way. If you are very, you just want to be really careful when you're kind of using these stamps. There's a lot of solid parts to them, which makes any kind of stamp positioning tool really nice. Does not mean you have to use it, because actually it might not be so bad. Actually might be a really good thing to have a little bit of imperfect stamping to kind of maybe give it like a little vintage feel. But for time's sake, I did already go out and stamp out 3, so we will go ahead and do this image here. Let me go ahead and ink that up. And we're going to go right here. And like that. It worked really well the first time for this one. The one that kind of gave me a hard time was this image here, but I think it's kind of the way it was designed. I might have had an okay image the first time. Alright, but anyway, I have it, so I definitely use it because I am not always the most patient of stampers. Sometimes my ink's a little dry and I need to get more, but if you save up and get one, they definitely are great. And there are so many different brands coming out now, and some of them are a little more affordable than others. So this is what I envisioned for this card, is to put these little images here, and then I think just because of size, you know, all the ephemera pieces I received are kind of big, except for this one. So I think this one's going to fit really nicely here. So I'm going to go ahead and put these together. I am not going to put this up on foam. Sorry, I'm going to put my adhesive on the other table next to me so it doesn't move the camera too much. We're going to go ahead and place that down. I'm also not going to place these down on foam because I want to place my little good times up, and I don't want it to be two-dimensional. So I'm going to go ahead and put some adhesive on the back of these. I'm not going to quite push down. What's nice is using this little checkered pattern, I'll at least be able to line them up pretty nicely. Now, because of the shape of these stamps, it was really hard to kind of figure out what the best way to cut these was. So they're about 2 by 2 and maybe not quite 2. I'll have to measure it because I kind of just eyeballed it. I mean, I tried to measure it. Let's see. Now this is going to be, for me, the hardest part, is just lining these up to where I want them. Okay, I'm going to put this one here. We're just going to go for it. Just stick you down. Then I'm going to stick this one next to it, which works really easy with this paper because I just follow that line. And this one I'm going to bring down a little bit. Sorry if I'm off camera, I'm just trying to line it up. Of course, this one stuck. And where my camera is set up, it's a little far away from me. So, okay. Then we're going to go ahead and put our little good times. I'm just going to use a piece of this scrap foam. Go ahead and put that on the back. Go ahead and add that here. And we'll put a white base on the inside. So usually something I always just keep because I always put one inside when I use colored cardstock. But there is card number 1 using the stamp set. Okay, so put that aside. Now let's take a look. What are we going to do for card number 2? We're on card number 2. My first instinct is to go ahead and make a shaker card because it's the easiest for me. Maybe we'll use this piece of ephemera with like these retro stoves and ovens since she's cooking. But it seems a little busy, so let's see what we can do to kind of tone that down. I'm going to go ahead and see, it's going to be hard to do that because all of my paper is really busy. And this one seems to make the most sense if I use like the paper I want to use on the back, and then I can use a strip of maybe, let's see, does this checkered piece kind of go there? No. No. Okay. We're going to pause a minute. I'm going to cut some paper and we are going to make sketch number 1 with this piece of ephemera and that pattern paper. I will make that work. Okay, so I've cut down this pattern paper to give it just a little bit on the black card base to give it a little bit of a border. I decided to use this pattern paper as my little strip that goes behind there. And I backed this with some black cardstock, tried my best to cut around it, and I'm going to put this up on some foam. So go ahead and get my adhesive out. Hopefully this doesn't move the camera too much. Okay. Go ahead, put some adhesive on the back of our strip here. And then we have this piece, still using the fun foam. I don't have too much more left. I mean, I do, but I don't compare to what was there before. And I think I'm going to just put that right there. Grab one of my white card bases for inside the card. Now a lot of times with these kits I don't tend to decorate the inside of the card anymore until after I'm done. Oh, look at that. I put it on the wrong side. That's okay. I'm gonna fix that. So we're gonna have to tear up this. It's actually not too bad. Now that I say that, this last little bit is ripping. Okay. I am going to add more adhesive, but I am going to do this off camera because I'm going to add a lot more adhesive since I got to go over a couple times the places I tore it off. Alright, so note to self, make sure your card base is going the right way. Now I'm attached to that one. Alright, I'm going to take this off just so I can line it up. Okay, boom. Alright, then we're going to go ahead and put this on the inside. Okay, and I think I want to add a couple of sequins. So we're going to dump out a few here. I don't tend to think too much about sequins. I just kind of add some glue where I think I want them to go. And then I just put them down. So definitely don't want to use the pink ones because I got pink paper here. So we're going to use that. I think I'm going to use all of this, like, it looks like a dark blue. Okay. And there we have card number 2, Seasoned with Love. Okay, so for card number 3, I cut the banana split cardstock so that it was 5.5 by 8.5. So when I fold it, it's just an A2 size card. 4.25 by 5.5. I trimmed this beautiful pattern paper down to 4 by 5.25, and because of the items I had in my kit, I decided I just wanted to use this sentiment, Planted with Love. It came out of this frame, but there's a little bit of greenery on this one, so I am going to just trim all this little green part down, and I'm just gonna give it a little bit of border with the same yellow cardstock. Okay, so here's our card base, here's our little sentiment, Planted with Love. I cut off the green and just used the same banana split cardstock to mat that on, and we have our beautiful flower pattern paper. This is not like going to be off any one of the card bases. I love this paper. I kind of want to just let it be the star of the show, and we're going to put our Planted with Love right there. I have my white panel for the inside of the card, I'm going to go ahead and add that in there. And for now, I'm only going to put one sequin if I can find where I put the sequins. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and put one little sequin right here. And I think we'll use a yellow since everything on this card seems to be yellow. Let's just stick with that. I know I want to add more, but I'm not sure. I don't know if I like this, just this one hanging out here, but the sentiment doesn't have enough to really add a whole lot. So I'm going to let this hang out, and I may revisit that at another time. Okay, but this is card number 3 from collection 1. Super, super simple, but again, I really wanted this pattern paper to shine, which is great because with some of the embellishments and the stamps that I have, nothing really kind of goes with that paper. So anyway, let's move on to card number 4. Card number 4, I decided out of this frame that we took the sentiment from, I'm going to make a shaker bit out of this piece. The thing I have to figure out is if I'm going to use the same pattern paper, different pattern paper. I know I want to make a shaker with this part, but I don't think that really any of the paper I have left would really let that shine through. So I think I'm probably going to use these plates. Maybe we'll cut out a couple of these retro stoves. And where is... I just had it here. There it is. And we'll use this handmade or homemade with love. So I'm going to just pause this video for a minute and cut the paper. Okay, so for card number 4 for collection 1, we're going to use this. I cut out just off the top part the plate. I just left the piece of the hole right there because it's going to be covered up with this here. I also took the oven paper and I just fussy cut out all these little tiny ovens that we will put over the top. So first I'm going to adhere on a white top folding card. Plate, paper. Now, this is a little bit longer, but I knew that. I just figured I'll just cut it right off with some scissors. Unfortunately, I did not move the glue or the adhesive over far enough, so it's getting a little sticky on my scissors. There we go. Okay. I am not putting this up on foam tape. This is just going to go completely down, so I'm going to add some adhesive. And I want it to just cover that little hole part there. So Homemade with Love. And I am going to just trim off a little extra on both sides. Now for our little ovens. I know I have two of these the same, so I'm not going to want, you know, the same color, so I want to make sure I don't put those on together. And I don't know if I'm even going to need all these. No, yeah, I think so. So I think I'm going to lay like 3 down flat and then the 3 in between on a little bit of foam. So just going to I don't use wet glue a lot, but we are for this one. Just in case after I put them down, if I want to move them a little bit. The only reason is because I tend to find that the card will warp a little bit if I use wet glue. And for some people that might not bother them at all, but it bothers me. Alright, so these ones we're going to put up on some foam. So I just have some foam right here. It only has adhesive on one side, so I just kind of went through and, because it's easier to adhere all onto one side, and then cut it. Okay. Perfect. Okay, so now I'm just going to go on to the back, take these off. So I did, I fussy cut all these, so I did go and use a black marker to outline the back, or around the edges, just to make it look a little more finished, because some of the edges are cut a little closer than others. Probably shouldn't have started this one so far over, because now I get this little white space over here, but c'est la vie. Okay, so this is card number 4. Homemade with Love. We have little plates and little ovens. I think it's very fitting for that sentiment. On the inside, it's just blank for right now because it's a white card base, so it doesn't need any kind of matte. So these are all the cards that we made today with collection number 1. Card number 1. Card number 2. Card number 3. And number 4. So let me know what you guys think. Did you get this collection? What did you think about it? We will continue next time with collection number 2. So if you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. But until next time, bye.